Okay, 8 o'clock. Time for us to get started, guys. So good evening and welcome to the call. My name's Roger Garth. I'm going to be a sort of host, more compare tonight, because I'm not doing this on my own tonight. Tonight we've got a ton of things that we want to go through with you. So right off the top, what I want to do is just give you a broad outline of what to expect. If you've got a pen and paper to hand, get it right now, because you're going to need to make some notes on this tonight. We've got a lot that we want to tell you in a very, very short space of time. I've noticed that the calls that we've been doing over recent months are seeming to get longer and longer and longer, and we don't want to do that. We want to respect your time. We want to keep this short, powerful, and exciting. So that's what we're going to do. So the purpose of the call, the whole point of this call, is to inform you of the very latest developments that are happening within Cuvera in general and within our group specifically, and to teach you everything that we can pass on that's going to be beneficial, that you can learn quickly and take and turn into something that you can use for action. And the idea is to be focused completely on results. So that said, I'm going to try and mute someone in a second. That said, I'm going to pass this over right at this moment in time for the first speaker that we've got tonight. Everybody knows him, so I'm not going to waste time with a long introduction. My sponsor to a great many of you here, Simon Brooks. Simon, over to you, mate.
Good evening, everybody. Simon Brooks. Just wave your hand if you know who I am. The majority of you should do. Okay, great stuff. Okay, if you don't know who I am, then reach out to me on WhatsApp and let's have a conversation. Okay, tonight's Zoom is going to be totally different to what you've normally been used to. You get on a Zoom and it's very sort of like informative and it's ho-ho, and you walk away from that Zoom without knowing exactly what you're going to do. We have some information that we're going to be sharing with you tonight that will blow your brains, especially the start of next year. We are going to ramp it up. We are going to so ramp it up. But I'm not going to steal someone else's thunder about what those events are going to be. But what I will say to you is every single one of you on this call needs to make sure that they set up their convenience tool. Now, wave your hand if you don't understand what convenience tool is. Okay, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. Okay, the convenience tool. It's a new product that you can find out that's automated. I love automation. Okay, now when you go into your back office, number 1, you have to be on subscription. Number 2, you go into your back office, click on products, and then what happens is you go to FX1. Then the 4th tab along, you click on convenience tool. Now the convenience tool is where we have an expert trader. This individual has been trading for himself for the last 10 years. Makes around about 3,000 a week, just himself. That's on top of his full-time job and his full-time business. Now he has had such phenomenal results. Gave the results to Cuvera, and Cuvera said, we would like you to be one of our traders. And his name's Jim Donnelly. This guy is amazing. So it took me around about 6.5 minutes to set up my convenience tool. Someone like Roger, other people that are a little bit sort of like, they're into the internet and everything else, it takes them about 2.5 minutes. But hey, you know, took me 6.5. But first off, what you need to do is go on to icmarkets.com and you need to set up an IC Markets account. And then in your app store on your iPhone, you need to set up MetaTrader 4 because you need to pair them together. Here's the best part of the convenience tool. I am making at the moment, Let me show you some proof. Don't know if you're going to be able to see this.
A little bit higher, Simon. There, bingo, you can see it there.
So I'm making about 3,500 a day. Not a month, not a year, a day. $3,500 a day. A day.
Is that a day?
Yeah. So, and that, but you see, the difference is people are going to say, how can you make that? How can you make that? It only goes about 1 or 2 trades. Obviously, my lot size is a lot more, but I scalp the market. Now, we haven't got time to go into how I scalp the market, but what I will do is I will let you guys know exactly how to do that at our next event, which will be covered later on. But the benefit is, with this product, number one, it can cover people's subscription. If people haven't recruited their 3, then what a great mechanism, a great system to what they can do to get their subscription covered. No matter where you are in the world. I've got one of my frontline personally sponsored people in California. As we speak right now, he's setting up his convenience tool. Now, when you set up the convenience tool, there's loads of different colors. Different traders are under different colors. So what we need is we need to use our trader called Jim Donnelly, and he is in the color cyan, C-Y-A-N. That's C for Charlie, Y for Yankee, A for Alpha, N for November. So that's the one, that's the color that you need to select. Then you sit back and you just watch it build, watch it grow. You set your lot size and everything else. But let me tell you now how, I mean, if you're all on the WhatsApp group, and I hope you're on the WhatsApp group, prospecting message that I've sent out to so many of my prospects. And I've had several people coming back to me saying, tell me more. And I said, if you want something with no selling, no sampling, no tasting, no nothing, you want an opportunity with a business where you can just build an organization, but most important of all, build an income. When I first joined Kuvera, I used to say day after day after day after day, there's going to be a lot of people that will be making more money with the product than they will do with the opportunity. Why? Because most people can't build a sandcastle, let alone a team. But they can make money with the product. And that's a significant difference. But I tell you now, guys, every single one of you that is listening to this Zoom, whether you're listening to the live, whether you're listening to the recording, you need to set up your convenience tool ASAP today. The longer you leave it, the more money you're leaving on the table. You really are. Because it doesn't cost you anything to set up the convenience tool. What it will cost you is to set up your subscription. But then the product will help you fund the subscription. I mean, 3,500 in one day, that's going to pay you, or that's going to pay for enough for a 1.5 year subscription. Does that make sense? That really makes sense to me. But hey, you know, who am I? But anyway, so the convenience tool is the most important thing to set up. Roger, back to you.
Thanks, Simon. I was just going to say exactly what Simon had just said. One day of profit paid for 18 months, guys. Now, it's true, Simon has more money in the account than most of us have, but he doesn't have that much more in the account, because when we first launched Kronos a couple of weeks back with the beta test, Simon put a chunk of money into it, but he also took a lot of money out because he's got a house move that's coming up really shortly, which we'll even talk about that. He'll take the rest of the call, so we won't do that. But the fact is, he doesn't have as much in it as you think. He's got maybe 10 times what the rest of us have done. I've got into this fund. But if you can make 300 a day, that's a year's subscription in like a month's subscription in one day. Literally, you just get plugged into this really, really quickly. Okay, I've got to keep going. We want the pace to keep going as far as this is concerned. So I said we wanted to talk to you about actionable things that we can do that can actually help you build your business. And I spent last night round at Simon Brooks' house with someone else talking about exactly this, and talking about how he was talking to people, recruiting people, getting people onto calls, and what information he has to share and pass on to you guys. So purely on that basis, right now, what I'd like to do is introduce our next speaker. He's been with the company for, in fact, he was the first person I saw on video about this business a year ago. Simon Kendrick. Simon, are you there?
Yeah, hi Roger, how you doing? You okay?
Hi mate, I'm fine, thank you. Over to you, mate.
Okay, hey guys, Simon Kendrick here. Hope you're all having a great day, and appreciate you all jumping on tonight's call. So what I'd like to do is just share with you guys a few things that I do with regards to connecting and inviting people. Now, some of what I'm about to say for you guys who follow, let's say, industry influencers could be seen as going against the grain, but what I can tell you from my perspective is that it works. Okay, so I'm just going to jump into connecting, and one of the tools that I like to use on social media is discover people. Now, you may be familiar with the teachings of get to know people, build relationships, build a rapport, and it's a long-term game, right? And what I've seen personally is that can actually put you in a position where it's going to prevent you from asking the question, are you open? Because when that relationship becomes firm, you then start to step back and you're like, oh, I don't know whether I should ask this question now because I've built a relationship with this person. I do not allow that to happen. So if you go onto Facebook, you'll see a tool there called Discover People. All I will do is maybe look for a few hobbies and interests, icebreakers, but the number one icebreaker that I use is location. And why do I go for location? Two reasons. One, because it doesn't matter where they are in the world. This business is a global business and it's also digital, right? So there's reason number one. Reason number two is that when I reach out to people and I start conversations with those people, I'll ask them, I will say something like, oh, your Facebook profile suggests that you live in Manchester. Is that right? More than likely, they're going to come back to me and say yes. And I will reply then, this is all via text on Messenger, I will reply then saying, well, that's funny because I'm networking with a lot of people in your neck of the woods. So there's seed number one dropped. The first question that they're going to be asking themselves is when I say that is, well, what's he networking about, right? But you always, when you're in response to people, you always go back with a question. So I would say something like, well, you know, I'm networking with people in your neck of the woods. If you don't mind me asking, what is it that you do? And I will let them come back to me. Now, here's where I go from a text message to a minimum of a voice note. And there's a few tricks. Some of these guys on the call tonight may have heard this. Number one trick, if you are not confident at leaving voice notes, is to use the voice recorder on your phone. I showed Simon and Roger last night. It's a very, very simple process. You can practice and practice and practice over and over again. Now, we all know, or we should know, when it comes to the invite, you should never invite by text. It should always be by a phone call or a minimum of a voice note. And the reason for that is the tonality within your voice. Your tonality will suggest everything, okay? 20% of what you say and 80% of how you say it, okay? So when it comes to the voice note, I will probably use either the convenience tool, but for me at this stage, I'm more of a crypto trading guy. That's just me, but that's the beauty of Cavera, the diversification that we have. You use what is suitable to you. But for an example, I would say, listen, I'm networking with a lot of people in your neck of the woods. I don't know how open you are to this. You can do what we do from the comfort of your own home. There's a live call tonight, or I have a recording. If it's for you, great. If it's not, no problem. Now, the reason why I say if it's not, no problem, is because I've took that pressure off the prospect's shoulders straight away. Because most people, and I think the more experienced ones among us will agree, most people push people into a corner. And when you push someone into a corner, they then become more reluctant to either viewing the exposure that you have or joining you on a call. As soon as you say no problem, you're giving your prospect a way out. You are allowing them to say no, which is fine. But what you will find if you do that is that because that pressure's gone off and you've given them that way out, they're more than likely going to say, yeah, okay. Right? So that's as simple as it is. Like I said, just to summarize what I'm saying here, I do not, and some of you may raise your eyebrows, spend too much time building that relationship or rapport. I will go in there purely to find out what I need to know, where they're from, what are their interests and hobbies, and how open they are. As soon as I find out how open they are, I then know what step to take next. If they say no, do not drop that prospect. The reason why I say that is because you do not know if they're in another network marketing company. You don't know where they're going to be in a month, 2 months, 6 months' time. If they're not a networker, it might not be the right time for them now. Circumstances can change. So always keep that relationship with people who say no. Far too many networkers receive a no and forget about the person. If something was to change in someone's circumstances and they've said no to you, but you keep that relationship, guess who they're going to come back to? Okay, so that's what I do. I use Discover People on Facebook. I use location as an icebreaker. One, because it doesn't matter where you are with this business. And two, you can turn around to them because it makes no difference. You can turn around to them and say, look, I'm networking with people in your neck of the woods. That is the first seed dropped. Carry on the conversation. Do you mind telling me what it is that you do? And then I'll go into it on a voice note, minimum, and invite them, ask them how open they are to joining us or watching an exposure. And remember, guys, when you're inviting or they're watching an exposure, always, always, always set the appointment for the follow-up in the invite. Okay, so that's enough for me. Back to you, Rog.
Cheers, Simon. Thanks for that. There's a ton that Simon could have told you there, guys, because it's a very simple business, but there's a lot to it. And we want to make sure that we can pass as much as we can across to you, but we want to do it in bite-sized pieces. And we're going to do it this time every week to do the same kind of thing. The format is just going to be exactly the same, week in, week out. But we're going to have different people coming on that we can speak to help more. So I'm going to show you a slideshow right now that I've got prepared that's going to give you a flavor of where we are going in the space of the next few weeks and months with this. So, right at the second, I'm going to broadcast from there. Set my slideshow up, and great. Can everyone see my slide?
Yep.
Yeah,
brilliant. Okay, so Tuesday News Day. I want you guys to remember that so clearly right now. I think we'll thank Simon Brooks for that originally. I think Simon, we bounced others around, but I think Simon came up with it in the end. He decided he liked it most. So we're going to tell you about some things right now.
I didn't come up with it. Julie did.
Okay, well, thank Julie, even more so then. I'd rather thank Julie than thank you anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so we're going to tell you about some new Facebook groups. We've got some things that we have to pass over that's going to be really, really important to you right now. First and foremost, we've started a couple of new Facebook groups. We've also got some live events we're going to tell you about. We're going to tell you about a new website, and we're going to tell you what's happening next week. So let's go right into the Facebook groups. This one is for distributors only. Simon Brooks has had $1 Million Secrets for a couple of years now, but he's kept it to a certain number of people. Right now, he's opening this up to absolutely everyone, but only distributors in the Cuvera network. This is going to be home for us. This is going to be the place where we can pass information to you and you get a chance to find out exactly what a multi-millionaire, someone who is ranked in the top 100 all-time network marketing distributors, and keywords there, all-time network marketing distributors, is doing. If you're going to follow anyone at all in this business, follow someone who's one of the top 100 out of millions worldwide. Yeah. So you need to go to facebookgroups.com or Facebook groups, and look for $1 Million Secrets. If you're already a member, then great. If you're not a member, go there. Membership is, joining this group is, it's got to be approved, so you must be a distributor. Go across, fill it in. One of us will let you into a group in the space of the next 12 hours or so. If for whatever reason we don't recognize someone, if it's someone who's brand new and we don't recognize the name, we're going to have to do a bit of digging to find out who it is, because it's only going to be for distributors. However, that said, we also decided we were going to come up with another group that is for prospects. And we decided we were going to have the $1 Million Preview group. In the preview group, we're going to put videos such as recordings of our Zoom calls or anything else that we can do that we think is valuable to your prospects, so that whether you've been in this business for a week or a year, you can send prospects to this group. If there isn't a live call on, if we're getting round to sort of Friday morning and we've got 3-4 days before there's another call on and you want to get the message across to someone, plug them into the preview group. Let them watch the videos there, and make sure that when you tag someone into the call, make sure that you follow it up with them and find out what they thought of what they like best about what they saw in there. We want to see lots of positive comments in there. I don't mean cheesy comments, but positive stuff, so that a prospect can look at this and see lots and lots of people saying good, positive things about our business. Anyone can go into this group. You don't have to be approved for it. You can put people in it yourself, and you can tag them into the video so that they can see it. The top video that's pinned there is a Zoom call we did a couple of weeks ago with Rick Robry on it, but we're going to keep rotating those and we're going to keep those fresh. Okay, I'm going to talk to you about some events that we've got coming up right now. The first event we've got coming up is the Leadership Weekend. It's happening in 3 weeks' time. 14th and 15th of December is just 3 weeks away. What you're going to get for the Leadership Weekend, if you haven't been to Thornton Hall before, this place is a treat. It's absolutely amazing. I mean, the photograph there looks beautiful, but the place inside is something special. On the Saturday when you get there, first of all, we're going to start off with training from Simon Brooks. And again, as Simon said at the beginning, if you don't know who he is before now, multi-million-dollar networker who's going to teach you about it. We have our guest speaker flying across from the States, Rick Robry, another multi-million-dollar network marketing earner. He's our master distributor. And if you haven't heard Rick speak, I promise you, this guy can reduce a room to tears with the stories that he tells. It comes from the heart. It absolutely comes from the heart. It's a huge amount of drinks for everybody at night time as well. We also have, if you're staying overnight for the events, then we have our gala dinner and casino event. This is Christmas. It's party time, folks. Black tie, dress up, and let's all have a ball. It's coming up for Christmas. Cost of the event is just £150 per person. That's for your overnight accommodation in a 4-star hotel with spa facilities. The spa is mind-blowing. Most spa hotels you get, it's sort of sauna, jacuzzi, everything else. This place goes on even further than that. I still don't get what that ice room is about. You know, the bit where you're walking in your costume into an ice room, I still don't understand that bit, but the facilities are incredible. We're going to have a whale of a time at the event. The training will be there on Saturday and on Sunday. It's paying for your dinner in the evening. It's paying for breakfast the day after, and it's 150 quid. That's the bargain of a lifetime. If you don't want to stay overnight, but if you still don't want to miss the training, we had people at our last event back in May who drove for 5 hours to come and see this just for the day event, just to see Rick Robry and find out what's happening. So just £45 a person, and that's for both days. So if you happen to be within striking distance and you want to come across, watch the day's training, don't want to stay the night, maybe there's a couple of you and you don't want to pay for a couple of people to stay, then go home by all means and come back the day after. £45, amazing. And Simon tells me that he's just decided we're going to open this event up to prospects. Now, if you have a prospect, the prospects still have to pay, because if they're coming across and they're going to take a room, they're going to get fed and everything else. But if you have a prospect who fancies treats and is seriously looking at buying a building into a business or buying a business, they will join. If they come to this, they will join, pure and simple. So that's that. You can book the tickets online. I'm going to tell you how in a second. We've got another event, and this is the event that Simon was hinting at before that is brand new for 2019. We're calling it the KISS event. It's Kuvera Iconic Super Sundays. And the KISS event is going to be training like you have never seen before. For this event, we're going back to the Mercure at Haydock, where we always held our training before. It's just the most convenient location for everyone in the country because it is right bang at Junction 23 on the M6, 2 minutes off the motorway. Parking is right outside the front door. There's no parking and walking and paying for your parking or whatever. It's free parking. We've all been to training events in the past that are informative, they're uplifting, you feel good about it, then you go home, but the next day you're a bit flat and you don't know where to go. The KISS event is going to take that on completely. At this event, we're going to give you a rock solid guarantee. We're going to help you one-on-one. We're going to help you to learn how to master, how to prospect people, how to find people, how to build your business. We're going to take you by the hand and we're going to show you what you need to do to prospect. We're going to have some active participation. Every single one of you, as you walk into the room, it's going to be laid out classroom style. There will be a chair for you and there will be a desk for you. Bring your laptop, bring pen and paper, and bring a prospect, bring a friend. Because if you bring a prospect to this event, we'll send you home with a team. You bring a prospect to this event, by the time it's over, they will know what the business is about and they'll know that they can do it themselves. So they will join, pure and simple. Once you've done that, we're just going to take it on and we're going to take you right to the next level. Every single, where's that gone? Sorry, don't know what's happened there. I'm going to stop sharing that right now. The event itself, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to have to go back to it in a second. But that training event is just going to be something special. It's going to start off with a business opportunity meeting, and the business opportunity meeting is going to be free for prospects. So you can bring your prospects, they don't have to pay for it. But the event itself is going to cost just £6. Just £6, including fees, everything else. And you can book it from tonight. So no paying a fortune, no driving to a place that's difficult to find, no standing around, no walking miles, no nothing. This is all about getting you working right now. During the event, we're going to talk to you, we're going to guide you, we're going to help you to set things up so that when you go home from this event, you'll know what you have to do and you'll know how to do it. Too many events I've been to, we have someone stands there and tells you exactly what you need to do, but they don't tell you how to do it, and all you've heard is theories. This is about practice. This is about practical, hands-on, how you make it work stuff. Okay? So, that said, let me very quickly flick back to my slideshow because I want to show you how you're going to book this right now. So, I hate it when technology does this to me. It doesn't usually do this to me. God, that sounds big, doesn't it? I was expecting you saying something then, Brooks.
I'm saying nothing. I'm saying nothing.
Okay, right, share it again. Back again. So how do you book it? Let's talk about how you're going to book the event. And you're going to book it by booking your tickets at a brand new website that we've just created for you. The website is called millionairesecrets.online. I was trying to figure out what we could call this, but on the basis that everything is now about, we've got $1 Million Secrets for our website group, $1 Million Preview for our prospects, $1 Million Secrets online for our website. Seems to be the most natural thing. Make a note of that URL right now. Simon will send it out again afterwards, but make a note of that right now. You can go to that website right now and it is live. Right at the top, you can see Leadership Weekend and you can go online there and you can book tickets for the Leadership Weekend. You can also go online and you can book tickets for the KISS events. And we need to see participation from you guys because it inspires us and it drives us all the time. All the calls that we do on here are going to be uploaded onto this. There's articles in there already. There's only a couple of articles right now. We've put a couple of things in just to get it started. We're going to populate this with current importance information for you all the time. There's also a page in there where you can ask questions. If there's things that you need to know, you can ask us, and we're going to make sure that you get all the information that you need. So milliondollar secrets.online is going to be your new home. And there is also we're starting an inner circle for Simon Brooks and his team. If you want to be in the inner circle newsletter, just put your name in the side. Yeah, you can actually see, no, it's a bit lower, a little bit down here on the website, but you can actually register there so we can get information to you as quickly as we can. Okay, very, very near to finishing right now. Next week, we're going to do the same call next week. And we've decided next week that we're going to give you a special treat. I told you before about Rick Robury, and I said how Rick Robury can literally reduce the audience to tears. He's an inspiring speaker. If you haven't heard from Rick yet, you've got to listen to Rick. And if you've heard Rick before, well, why would you want to miss what Rick Robury has to tell you about this business? Rick Robury is our master distributor. He's been with this business for 4 years, and effectively every single one of us is in his team. He's going to come on the call next week, and he's going to have a word with us and pass a few gems before he comes across to meet us. Last thing, and then we're finished, because we've got to keep this short every time now from now on. Tomorrow night, we have our Zoom call again. If you have anyone who's looking at this business and hasn't heard the full story yet, tomorrow night is the time at 8 p.m. when we do our Zoom call. The link for the call is right there. Again, Simon will send you a reminder out. And we'll make sure and if you're not already if you're not with Simon and you're not getting reminders from Simon because you're not in his WhatsApp group, send him a message. Simon, give everybody the number.
My number is 079 73 79 73 79. Everybody needs to be on the WhatsApp. If you're not in the WhatsApp group, you're making your job harder. You know, a lot of people turn around and say, oh yeah, I'm not going to get my people on it. I'll pass them the message. Teach people to be independent, not dependent. Don't keep holding the hand. Step up. We're going to change things around. Next year, we're going to really hit this big time. And what we will do is we will show you how to recruit people, when to recruit people, and what to say to people. We're going to give you the facts. And that's why every single one of you needs to book the event as soon as you can. Treat yourself. And one other thing, I've actually twisted the hotel's arm up their back to turn around and say, if anybody wants to stay overnight at the Mercure, which is a 4-star hotel, they're only going to charge £60 for a double room bed and breakfast. £60. That's for nothing in that venue. That is for nothing. So you can make it a bit of a social thing. Do not forget that is tax deductible. You are attending a business event, so you can claim it against your income tax. Not only your petrol to get there, the accommodation, the hotel fees, and everything else. And when you think £6 to attend that event is nothing, £6 including fees. That's for nothing. Back to you, Roger.
Fantastic, Simon. That really is nothing, guys. Six quid you pay that. You pay that for a cocktail when you're going out for a night out, and you're going to get the sort of training that Eric Worre would charge you millions, and well, he won't charge millions for it, but he charge you hundreds of pounds to go and see that kind of training. You're getting it for 6 quid. Bring your prospects. Your prospects are free, and the bottom line is, we'll build your business for you. We won't tell you how to do it. We'll do it for you. Your job is bring people. We'll sponsor them for you. We'll do it. That's it. We've overrun slightly. We want to try and keep these short for every week, guys, because like we said, we value your time. We think that you're important and you've got more important things to do. So we're going to keep these short and snappy. So I'm going to stop the slideshow. And
we will be putting the recordings in the website, in the Facebook group.
They're going to go in the Facebook group. There will also be recordings into the website as well, but everything is going to go in the Facebook group. It'll probably be early tomorrow morning by the time this is in there. But give us, if you've got any questions, ask questions from us, get in touch. We want to hear from you, and we want this to be your business. We want this to be a two-way chat with conversations coming back from you all the time. Guys, that's it. We've overrun slightly. I'm going to try not to do that. So, Tez, you're waving something at the screen. Are you trying to ask a question? Give me 1 second. Let me unmute you. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, please, mate. I just wondered. I'm on the site, but I can't see anything for the 13th event for the other event that's going to be put on.
Right. I'll send it on. Don't worry. I'll make sure you get it out.
Yeah,
and I'll make sure everyone gets it. Okay, guys, that's it. We're going to wrap it up, and we will see you all.
Before we end, hands up who set up their convenience tool. Okay. Hands up who's going to set up their convenience tool. Okay. Guys, this is a must. I don't care what you're doing, but this is a must. Get your convenience tool. That's a must. And Mike, I'm just going to add you to the WhatsApp group. I'm just doing it now.
Right, guys, I've just unmuted everybody, and I've done it on purpose. Just really quickly, quick feedback from everyone. Has everyone got some value out of this call?
100%.
Yeah.
Can I give everybody some homework? Let's have some fun. In just one sentence, just WhatsApp me what you've enjoyed the most about the and what you're hoping for the future. Whether it be the events, whether it be the leadership event, no matter what it's going to be, or if you want to just put the word crap because you didn't enjoy it, then put the word crap. But send it to me, and then I will send it out. I can only get 256 people per WhatsApp group. When I fill that, I will do another one. So I'll have a Kuvera WhatsApp group 1, then a Kuvera WhatsApp group 2, then 3, 4, and so on and so on and so on. So when I do a recording, I'll copy it into the next group and the next group and the next group. Guys, you need to get all your team to be in the founder group. I'll call the first group the Kuvera founder group. That'd be good. Yeah. But yeah, the WhatsApp group is the most important thing that you need to get people into. If they want to get good training, good tips, good help, good support, that's what you need to do. Okay, my time's up. Back to you, Roger.
Guys, that's it. We're going to wrap it up. We're going to see you all, hopefully, this time tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Bring prospects. We're going to do the work for you. Just bring people on, and we will make this business grow. See you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
Catch you later, guys. Bye-bye.